What's up, guys? My name is Aleene, and today we are going to be doing a little story time. I have story times to tell you. It's story time Tuesday, okay? This story time took place, when was this? I think I was 16. It was the summer before my junior year. So I think it was 2014. It was 2014 because I went to Warped Tour a few months after this. 2014. But before we get into the video, I just want to ask if you guys like this video at any point in time, just to subscribe, because I tell stories every Tuesday. I do a regular video every Monday. I have a podcast on my podcast channel every Wednesday, and every Friday I either do a vlog or I go live. Now let's get back into the video. So with 16-year-old Hannah, I always wanted to fit in, especially with my sister. I was always compared to my sister a lot, and I just really wanted to try and do the things she could do. She was very social. She was very outgoing. She was able to make friends, keep friends, do athletic stuff, and just like be adventurous with her friends. Me, on the other hand, no. She wanted to go to Laguna Beach one day. And she wanted to bring her friend. I'm gonna call her M because she does not need to have her name blasted on the internet. Even though this is not like a dragging story time, this is a like, Hannah, what the hell happened to you story time, but we're just gonna call her M for the sake of it. My sister brings her friend M, and you know, we all go to the beach. Obviously I'm 16, so my sister and M are 2 years younger than me, so they're about to go into their freshman year of high school. It was the summer before my junior, summer before they're fresh. With that being said, my mom, she drove us to Laguna Beach. My sister found like all these directions on how to go to this beach that everybody was obsessed with called Thousand Steps Beach. Now I'm also going to be including pictures of how this beach looks and like all the stuff I went through and saw, so you guys like kind of get like an idea of where things were. Geez, this story is like, oh my gosh. I look back, I'm like, gosh, I'm literally just, oh my gosh. So before we do fully get into the story time, just remember, I'm not active, I'm not adventurous, I'm weak, not strong at all, and I had really bad FOMO and I didn't want to be left out of anything. Okay. My sister found this beach, Laguna Beach, 1,000 steps, as I said before, and we had her friend M. Okay. So my mom drove us, blah, 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 as mentioned. It takes forever when we get there to find one parking, because we had to do street parking, and street parking by beaches are just so crazy. So already off the bat with us having to pay for like street parking was insane. And then we look forever for the little entrance to go to the Thousand Steps Beach. We inevitably find it. Super great. And we go down the stairs, and there's a lot of stairs, and I'm already like dreading these stairs. Like even then I hated stairs. Just going downstairs, like oh my God, I've always felt so like I can't like control my balance. Like I'm so clumsy. So I just going down the stairs was already a tragic time because I hated them stairs. We get down the stairs after like 3 billion years, and then we go left because like my sister's directing us to where we need to go for the secret pool at the Thousand Steps Beach. It was like a cove or whatever. It was like a tiny little hidden pool. Not really that hidden, but still. So we go left as far as we could. We set up where we're gonna have our little beach. It was high tides that day, my friends. High tides. Mind you, I also have a lot of beach anxiety and a lot of water. I don't know how to swim. I'm actually scared of like open waters of beaches. Like I genuinely have like so much anxiety surrounding that. And like just waves and all that just literally just causes me so much panic and stress. So I know that day I was so stressed over the ocean, being the ocean, and then over my sister, me wanting to live up to being my sister's expectations. So I'm just like, I'm just stressed. So we get as far left as we can with my mom there, and we set up all of our stuff, and then like, you know, my sister wants to start adventuring. She's like, deuces, mom, we're gonna find the secret cove. I don't remember if they wanted me to go with them. Honestly, probably not. They probably did not want me to go with them, but I wanted to go because hello, FOMO. Mind you, again, my sister is, she wasn't athletic, but she was strong. And she didn't have a lot of upper body weight. And same with my sister's friend M. Like, but her friend was like athletic. There's like all these rocks and stuff you have to walk over, and as you get to the cove, and there's a lot of like pathways and like all this stuff that's rocky and like terrible, and like I don't know, I don't like it. And like I said, high tides, okay, and we didn't have any shoes on, so the bottom of my feet were getting torn up by the little rocks all over. It hurt. Just that alone hurt so bad. It made me so uncomfortable. I was like, can we turn around? But I like had to protect my sister. I still am always like, I had to protect my sister. So I was there because I was like, just in case I have to protect my sister. She's like still an 8th grader. Basically, I have to watch her, even though I'm a clumsy motherfucker. So we continue going through all the steps. Also throughout here, I'm probably including pictures of everything, of like all of our places. I'm gonna link the YouTube video below where I got these pictures from. So we go to the cove, and then Em and my sister are like going over there. I don't even know if they brought their phones. Why do I get anxiety telling this story? I don't know why it gives me so much anxiety. Just because I'm like, oh my God, I've never fully retold it. Do the thing, whatever, we're over by the cove. And then we walk back, and at this one point, I guess we took a wrong turn on like the rocks and the cliffs to walk back. And one part, Em and my sister were able to like lift themselves up and get over the rocks. Me, I could not. I was trying to like maneuver around, and like I couldn't figure it out. And I got stuck on one little part of the rocks, the cliff or whatever. I got stuck on one part. I was like freaking the actual out. I was freaking out because like I felt in my head, I feel like one of those goats on the side of a cliff, like licking salt. Like that's what like I felt. Like I was going to die. I was so terrified. The tide was so effing high that day. So high. The waves were crashing against me. Mind you, my autistic at this point is just so overwhelmed and stressed out and sensory overload to the core because the waves are crashing onto me. I feel like I'm slipping kind of. I'm like slowly slipping on algae. I feel like I'm jeopardizing my sister's reputation with her friends because I'm an idiot and I'm weak. I just so much stress and anxiety. And then the waves just kept hitting and hitting. And I was just like freaking out. I started crying. I remember my sister and Em, they were trying to like reach me, but they couldn't really reach me. And also I was bigger than them. They were 2 little 8th graders and I was 16. Like I wasn't fat, but I was like also like, y'all cannot carry me. So they could, there's nothing they could do. And there was a bunch of other people just watching too. They're like, can she get up? I'm like, I can't get up. I remember that. I now remember that person just was staring. It was like this one girl and her boyfriend, and they were just like watching me. I was like freaking the fuck out. I was like, how dare you watch me? Anyway, so, like I mentioned, I'm slipping on the algae. I'm like like gripping on the rocks for dear life. I can't pull myself up, and like the waves are just crashing, and it's just getting harder and harder, and so much of the waves are crashing on me. And at one point, I'm like, I don't know what to do. I'm stuck here. I'm gonna die. I thought I was gonna die. I literally thought I was gonna fucking die, and it felt like I was gonna die. Like literally, like I genuinely thought like over dead at 16, like terrified. So, I guess at one point I slipped on the algae and I came crashing down into the waves, sliding down the rocks. My whole left side got tore the up. Like I'm gonna include pictures later, but they're gonna be blurred, and I'm gonna do a trigger warning so y'all don't have to see it if you don't want to. But oh my God, I literally tore the up, tore up my boob, tore up my elbow, my thigh. Oh my God. So I slid down into the ocean. And this is the weird part. I don't know what this was about, but it like was like the waves like kind of like I was so close to the shore where my mom was. Like my mom saw, like she saw it all happen. My sister and her friends saw, the boyfriend and the girlfriend saying, can't she get up, saw, like everybody around me saw. They saw me slip and fall basically into the ocean. Crazy. So but like I was saying, the ocean, like I said, high tides that day, high tides. So the ocean pulled back enough to like, I don't know. I know the ocean obviously did not do this on purpose, but it gave me enough room to just run in the sand where the ocean usually was, run through the sand over to where my mom was, and just like make it safe to shore. I was like, oh my God. And then back to high tide right after I got to shore. That, I don't know, man. Thank you, Jesus. And then my sister and her friend come running. They're like, what the f-? Everybody's freaking out. Me, I autistic, scream crying. Literally scream crying because I was so overwhelmed. I was in pain. I was uncomfortable. There was stuff on my feet. Everybody was looking at me. It was hot. I was getting a sunburn, and so much was going on at once, okay? It was just not a good time, okay? So then I remember, oh, also at this point, I still have my towel from this time. I brought my One Direction towel, and I still have my One Direction towel. I might show you guys my One Direction towel later. But it was on my One Direction towel. I was bleeding everywhere. Because I was bleeding everywhere. And I remember my sister and her friend, they went running. They were looking for the lifeguard. They're like, ah! The lifeguard, they couldn't find the lifeguard. They come back, and I remember at one point, this guy was like old guy was walking the shore, and he was like, said he was a doctor. He's like, is she okay? And like, did she hit her head? I'm a doctor. Does she have a concussion? I'm like, thank you. I'm fine. No, it was not fine. But I was just so like overwhelmed. It was just like, you know? So my sister and her friend, after she runs to find a lifeguard, couldn't find a lifeguard, they come back. And mind you, at this time, we didn't have phones. We didn't have phones at that time. I don't think we didn't have phones that worked. Either our phones ran out of data at that time or whatever. Also, like at the beach, you don't really have much service. But my sister's friend, M, she calls 911, rings them up. Hello, hello. This girl fell down a cliff. Save her. Oh my God. And like... So, little 16-year-old me bleeding on my One Direction towel, screaming and crying. Oh, I did have my phone. I remember I had my iPhone because I was like, oh my God, I need to tweet about this. My dumb ass. I needed to tweet about it on my One Direction stan Twitter. So I was, you know. So then I'm waiting there, scream crying, trying to calm the actual down. It was hard. Everybody was looking at me. I was like taking off my glasses. I'm like, I don't need to see y'all looking at me. Go away. So I'm like, oh my God. So we're just waiting for like the ambulance to come. And then firefighters come. And right by where we were, behind us, up like, you know, in the neighborhood behind the beach, was like a really rich gated neighborhood, blah, blah, blah. This one guy had access to the beach, and he had like a little long driveway, and only he could unlock it. Firemen were like, this little 16-year-old girl just fell on her. You need to unlock it. So I guess that's what happened. They came down with the little ambulance, or the fire truck was up there, and the ambulance was up there. And then the firefighters come down, and y'all, 16-year-old me, like, pretending that I was in a fan fiction, was like, oh my God, these firefighters are so hot. Girl, you're bleeding. Shut up, ho. But 16-year-old me was like, I'm gonna try to get at a firefighter. I did not. Honestly, I don't even think I was doing that, but I know in my mindset at that time I probably was like that. Anyway, continuing. So the firefighters are like checking my my blood pressure. They were checking my vitals, everything. They're making sure I was not concussed. They were checking out my whatever they're called, scars, scratches, like whatever my bloody limbs. They were checking that out. And, you know, they were making sure everything's okay. And then, like, my feet, like I mentioned before, the bottom of my feet was covered in rocks. And it hurt so fucking bad to walk. And, like, obviously, I just fell. Of course, it's going to hurt to walk. So, they start trying to, like, there's one, like, a firefighter on both sides holding on to me, trying to help me walk. I'm just trying to rush it. I'm like, let me get through this. So, I'm trying to walk as fast as I can. It doesn't help. But, they take me up there to the ambulance. Well, no, they took me in the fire truck, but it was just like a pickup truck fire truck. It was not like a fire truck. And then the ambulance left, and then blah, blah, blah. And then they took me to, I don't know, at that time my mom didn't want me to go in an ambulance. So they just brought me from the pickup truck, the fire truck pickup truck, to the front where the main road was. And then my mom's sister and her friend all went up the stairs and ran to the car and met me up there with the firefighters. And then, you know, my mom rushed me to the ER after that. I'm like we're on the main road with the firefighters. They put me in my car, whatever. My mom rushes me to the ER. I'm like in a wheelchair in my bikini. I'm like, oh my God, this is so embarrassing. In a wheelchair in the ER in my bikini. That's hilarious. And I'm bleeding. So we get there. I remember I was like, I remember this one part. I was asking my sister, I was like inconsolable, and I was asking my sister for my phone because I was like, it's my security blanket, I need my phone. And all she heard was blanket. She was like, oh, she needs Daffy, her baby blanket. Let's give her the One Direction towel just in case. I was like, I want my phone. It was so stupid. But I was like, I want my phone because I don't know. Having my phone on me is like a security blanket. I love my phone. So I was like, give me my phone. I go back into a room right away. They put my feet in like, I guess, cold water or whatever, and like a bucket of cold water, and they start cleaning it, getting all this stuff off of all the scratches and all this stuff off my feet. They're cleaning it. They're bandaging up my feet. They give me morphine right away. I don't remember them doing an IV. I don't remember them giving me the morphine, but I remember getting morphined up. Okay, I remember that. And I remember them trying to dab all my like mess, but I don't remember what it's actually called, like scratches, whatever. I remember them trying to dab it and clean as much as they can, and they're bandaging it up. And before they bandage it up, I'm like, Mom, sister, one of y'all have to take a picture of these scars because I want to talk to you about it one day. And here I am. So that was so crazy. And then I remember, oh my God, I don't remember getting discharged, but I do remember after all that, I got bandaged up on that. I remember they put me on the wrong seat. I'm very picky about where I sit. I'm always on the right side in the second row. If I'm a second row person, everything, I'm always in the back right, or the passenger. My mom put me on the left side of the car to add even more to my uncomfortability. I was like, oh my God, after all that, I can't even sit in my seat because my sister's friend was already there, and I'm like, I just want my seat. But that's okay. And then I remember we were going through the mountains because we had to drive through like the mountains to get back home after that. And I was up on morphine. I was cracking jokes. I was like, I was making my sister's friend laugh so hard. But I know well that bitch was laughing because she was uncomfortable. She's like, I'm never going back. I'm never going to meet this bitch again. Like, I'm keeping my distance from my friend's sister because that for you. But that is the end of my story time of how I fell off a cliff at 1,000 Steps Beach. Crazy as hell. Do you see how red I am? That was a very passionate story time. I hope you guys enjoy though. I am going to insert some pictures right now of everything. So trigger warning for like, I'll put it on the screen for how long it'll be until, but like after this, it's just going to be me saying goodbye. So you don't have to watch the rest of this video if you don't want to see the rest of the video. That was crazy. Those pictures were ridiculous. But anyway, I am gonna go. Thank you so much for watching. I love you guys so much, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye. Mwah.